Then, of course, in '74, well, then there was Lark's Tongues in Aspic, wasn't there? The album after that, and Starless and Bible Black, and of course Red, which I understand you're doing some material from.
We are, yeah. Well, we're doing a lot of material right across the whole period, and we're doing some stuff that hasn't been played in decades, and in fact some stuff that's not been played at all, some stuff that hasn't been played since probably the first tour. So, and what we've assembled now after the tour last year in America is we've got a kind of repertoire of, it must be I don't know exactly, but it must be approaching 3 hours worth of stuff, wow. Which means on multiple nights you will see a not a completely different set, but a significantly different set from night to night. So that's the whole point.
So we've got 2 nights at Friars. So it's possible that on the second night you might do something that you didn't.
Oh no, well we'll definitely do. There'll definitely be different sets at Aylesbury. Definitely.
In '74, I think Robert sort of disbanded the band, didn't he? Basically, after Red, I guess it was after Red that he would have done that.
Yeah.
And then of course he played with Bowie on Scary Monsters and Heroes, and amazing guitar work and fashion tracks like that.
Yeah, brilliant. I love the solo
version. Extraordinary guitar
playing. Nobody else could play like that.
It was just absolutely classic. And then he sort of reformed the band, didn't he, in '81 for Discipline.
Yeah.
And actually I think the very first gig on the Discipline tour was again at Friars Aylesbury.
And were they called Discipline or were they called King Crimson? Because
it was King Crimson and Disciplines. And it was an absolutely astonishing evening. I remember of music, it was just breathless. But you didn't see that one, but you did see one.
I was too young to see the original lineup, but I've seen every lineup since then, apart from this one. I haven't seen them, but every other lineup I've seen.
Right. But I think you did see that tour.
I did, yeah. I saw it a couple of times in London. I saw 2 shows.
Yeah, excellent. So Tony Levin has been, a feature of King Crimson
since
going
then,
way
really,
back. Yeah. And what do you think his role is in the band now?
Well, I guess he must be. Well, he's the second longest standing member to Robert. He brings an authority. He brings a class. He's a great musician. Is Tony? He's fantastically musical player, not above and beyond technique. It's what he brings to it is a great sense of musicality.
Right. And does he play Chapman stick at all?
He plays on the last tour. He played 4-string bass, 5-string bass, Chapman stick, and an upright as well.
Wow!
And quite often you don't always know which bass he's going to play on which tune, so he does interchange on occasion.
So how structured is it? I mean, is there a lot of room for that sort of ad-libbing or improvising?
Well, there are moments where there's a bass for that, and it's encouraged. But then some of the music is incredibly tightly structured. Some of the more modern pieces they're like jigsaws. They interlock. Right. But within that, and there are some pieces that are developed. There are some pieces that have just a tiny piece of information, and then there are others where there is a moment in the middle where you get to the end of one point and you know where you're going to come back in, but exactly what happens in between time is whatever happens on the night. So it's a combination of the two, very structured,
right,
and kind of free, really.
Fantastic. And talking of instruments, we've got here your famous King Crimson guitar, which I understand you'll be playing.
No, it's the main guitar that I use.
I don't know if you want to lift it up a bit.
Yeah, if you like.
And can you tell us about this?
I'm an endorsee of PRS guitars, and when Robert asked me to play in Crimson, I thought, well, it'd be nice to. It's kind of statement of intent, really. So I said, would they be up for producing a guitar? And they were very keen, and it doesn't really come across in pictures, but actually in real life, and it looks like porcelain. It's a beautiful job, and you've got those amazing inlays that they've put there.
Fantastic.
And actually, if you know the album sleeve, which of course nobody really sees.
That's the back of the album.
It's
sleeve,
yeah.
Fantastic. So can we expect anything from that first album?
Well, you never know. I mean, as I say, you know, we've been assimilating and learning all sorts of stuff that I think will surprise a lot of people. I think it's some material that I think some people thought might not ever be played again, and it's great. And it's great to reapproach it with the current lineup, and you know, it's this version of the band playing that material. You know,
right. And I've listened to the album live at the Orpheum.
Yeah.
From last year in LA, and presumably you'll be doing some of those.
Yeah. Well, as I say, that is now part of our repertoire from which we can dip and pick and choose.
Right. So you've got the Letters and Sailor's Tale.
Yeah.
From Ireland. Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love doing both of those live. They're great things to do live. It's a great. Letters is a great song to sing. Actually, I love doing that.